Among the inhabitants of a village in Africa were Mwansa, a humble fisherman, and his wife Nali, a woman renowned for her beauty and wisdom. Their love story was whispered among the villagers, a tale of devotion that seemed unshakable. Mwansa adored Nali, and she in turn cared for him with a tenderness that warmed his soul. Their lives were simple but fulfilling. Wansa spent his days fishing by the river, braving the crocodile infested waters to bring food and trade to their home. Nali managed their household with grace, her laughter filling the air as she wove baskets or sang songs from her childhood. To Wansa, she was his anchor, the one constant in a world of uncertainties. But as the seasons changed, so too did the winds of their lives. One evening, as Wansa returned from the river with a bountiful catch, he noticed something unusual. A shadow flickered near their hut, vanishing as quickly as it had appeared. Entering his home, he found Nali stirring a pot of stew, her smile as bright as ever. Is something wrong, Mwansa? She asked, her voice gentle. He hesitated, then shook his head. Nothing, my love. Perhaps I'm just tired. Yet the incident lingered in his mind, gnawing at his thoughts. Over the next few weeks, Wansa noticed subtle changes in Nali. She began to rise earlier than usual, disappearing into the morning mist with excuses about fetching water or gathering herbs. At night, she seemed distant, her laughter quieter, her gaze far away. One night, unable to contain his unease, Wansa followed Nali under the cover of darkness. He trailed her to the river bank, where he saw her speaking with a man cloaked in shadows. The two exchanged whispers, their voices carried by the wind. Wansa's heart clenched as he watched Nali place her hand on the man's arm, a gesture that felt too intimate. Consumed by jealousy and hurt, Wansa confronted Nali the next morning. Who is the man by the river? He demanded, his voice shaking. Nali froze, her eyes wide with surprise. But instead of anger, tears filled her eyes. Wansa, you must trust me, she pleaded. It is not what you think. But Wansa's faith was shaken. For the first time in their life, doubt clouded the love they had shared so freely. Nali, sensing Wansa's growing mistrust, finally confessed. The man was her brother, Banzi, who had been presumed dead after a brutal village raid years ago. Banzi had returned, scared and haunted, and Nali had been helping him in secret to avoid drawing attention. Wansa's guilt was immediate and overwhelming. He embraced Nali, apologizing for doubting her. Together, they vowed to protect Banzi and keep his presence hidden from those who sought to harm him. For a time, peace returned to their lives. Wansa even grew to trust Banzi, who seemed grateful and humble, but the shadows of the past had not fully lifted. One evening, Bansi approached Mwansa with a peculiar request. I need your help, brother, he said. There is a sacred amulet hidden in a cave deep in the forest. It belongs to our family and must be retrieved to secure our future. Though hesitant, Mwansa agreed. He and Bansi ventured into the dense forest, navigating treacherous paths and enduring the cries of wild animals. Along the way, Banzi shared stories of his struggles, painting himself as a victim of fate. Wansa felt a growing respect for the man. he once distrusted. When they reached the cave, Banzi's demeanor shifted. The walls glowed with strange markings, and an eerie silence enveloped them. Banzi turned to Mwansa, his expression cold. "You are a fool," Mwansa, Banzi sneered. "The amulet holds great power, and I will use it to take what I deserve. Nali, your home, everything." Mwansa's heart shattered. The man he had come to welcome into his home was not the brother Nali had believed him to be, but an impostor with dark intentions. Ah, so Banzi had come to take his wife and pretended to be his wife's brother? Oh, my Lord. Fueled by betrayal, fury, Mwansa fought Banzi in the dim light of the cave as Banzi threatened to kill him. So he wanted to kill him and take his wife Nali? Ah, what a world. The struggle was fierce. Each man fighting for his life. Mwansa was fighting, but Banzi was very strong. How was he going to overcome Banzi? If he died inside this cave, nobody will know. Banzi can as well formulate any story to tell them something happened to him, and nobody will question. He was beginning to lose hope. What was he going to do? He tried. Banzi was very powerful. Mwansa tried all he could. He tried all he could. Just as Banzi seemed to gain the upper hand so much, a voice rang out. A voice rang out. "Stop!" Nali stood at the cave entrance. Her face a mixture of anger and heartbreak. She had followed them, unable to shake the feeling that something was wrong. With a swift blow, Nali picked up a rock on the ground and struck Banzi. He struck Banzi with a rock, knocking him unconscious. Tears streamed down her face as she turned to Mwansa. "I trusted him," she cried, "my love. I trusted him," she whispered. "I believed he was my long-lost brother. How? My husband, he would have killed you because of my mistake. I'm so sorry, my love. I'm so sorry," she cried, hugging her husband as they embraced right there in the cave, tears flowing down their faces. "How would I have lived without you?" Nali was crying and saying. "How? How, my love, would I have lived without you?" she cried. Mwansa looked at her as they embraced. "I know you trusted him, but deep down within me, I had a feeling that things were not right," he replied, shaken. Mwansa embraced her, his tears falling freely. "We are both deceived, but our love is stronger than his lies." With that, both of them moved home. As dawn broke, Mwansa and Nali left the cave, leaving Bazi to the forest. They returned to the village, vowing to rebuild their lives and cherish the love that had endured so many trials. Though her brother was lost and there was no hope of his ever returning, she was happy her husband Mwansa was not killed, and they had been able to find out the secret that Banzi was not her brother. What would have happened if this had not happened? She cried. At home, they embraced each other, and the love between them was so strong. They knew that their life without each other was meaningless. They hung on to themselves throughout that night, shaking, unable to believe what had just happened. They could not believe it, that Banzi could be that wicked and full of betrayal. Oh, from that day on, their bond was unshakable. They became a symbol of resilience, a reminder that love, though tested by shadows and betrayal, could emerge brighter than ever. That is the end of the story.